Hello, it's me.
That's right, Adele, it is me, and today we are learning to multiply decimals using partial products. So I know we've talked a little bit about the traditional way to solve these problems. This is just another way to do it and another way to think about these numbers. It can be a little bit more time consuming and it can take a little bit longer, but it's important to remember the place value piece of when we're multiplying these numbers. And that when we're looking at this 4, this isn't actually a 4, it's really a 4/10. And this is 7/10, and then a 9 and a 2. And that's what partial products help us to remember. So first, before we start anything, I think something that really helps me as a math student is estimating these just quickly so that when we get our answer, we have an idea like, am I close to what I should be, or is my decimal definitely in the wrong place? So I can quickly estimate this. Let me change my color. Probably be better. My estimation could be in red. So I can estimate this to be 10. And then I'm still multiplying, right? And then I could estimate this to be, well, this number 2.4, 2 and 4/10 is close to 2. And then so my estimation would be 20. All right, so that's how I start. And my answer isn't going to be exactly 20, but it should be about 20. So when I look at my answer, and if I have 204, I know that my decimal place might be in the wrong place. All right, so here we go. Let's start looking at partial products. Let's change the color to green now so that we can see it and it's clear. So what we just have to do is step by step go through and do what we would traditionally, but remembering place value. So this right here, I would say 4 times 7, but actually it's 4/10. Gotta try to keep it really organized. Times 7/10. Now I move back over here and I look, okay. So now 4/10 times 9. And that's in the ones place. The 4 is in the tenths place. So 4/10 times 9. We're not going to do the problems till after, and I make sure I have all of them. So I'm done with this one because there's nothing else to multiply it by. Now I move over to the 2, which is in the ones place. And I multiply the 2 times this 7, which is in the tenths place. So it's 7/10. Now here I multiply the 2. My last one is 2 in the ones by 9 in the ones. So 2 times 9. The hardest part for me when now I'm going to solve these is making sure that I'm keeping it organized. Because what's happened to me is if I'm not keeping my decimal lined up in my answers, I start to add the numbers incorrectly. So you could even use graph paper. In my next problem, I'm probably going to put some grid paper here so that it just keeps me more organized. So here we go, 7/10, or I'm sorry, 4/10 times 7/10. Well, I know 4 times 7 is 28. So 28. And if I look at this, there's 2 numbers in decimal place, so it's 28 hundredths. 4 times 9, or 4/10 times 9. I know that's 36, but it's not 36. It's 3 6/10. Keeping these decimal points as lined up as possible. Now I have 2 times 7/10, which is 2. Or, well, oh, I'm sorry, that's not right. So now 2 times 7 is 14, or 1 and 4/10. So I'm taking place value. 9 times 2, easy, 18. Now I have to try to add these all up, thinking about where they are place value-wise. I tried to keep my decimals as lined up as possible, but it's hard a little bit when I'm writing on this. So now I'm adding to find my answer. My 8 is the only number in the hundredths place. It's going to come right down. Now I'm going to add up the numbers in my tenths place. So 2 plus 6 is 8, plus 4 is 12. So on 2, carry the 1. Now I have 1. Oh, and I almost forgot about this. But the decimal point when we're adding goes right here. You should bring that decimal point right down when we're adding. So 1 plus 3, 4, 5, plus 8, 13, carry the 1. So now I have 23 and 28 hundredths. Is that close to 20? Pretty close, not exact. When I look here, both when I estimated, this was a little bit of an increase, this was a little bit of a decrease. So this seems like an accurate answer. And I checked it on a calculator, so it's definitely correct. Okay, so what you can do now is if you feel really confident about this, you can move on and start doing your independent work. But I'm going to look to make sure that you're using partial products when you're solving these problems. So you might want to watch for our next example. This one's a little bit harder because what you notice is actually there's 3 digits in this problem up here, and then there's 2 down here. So again, we're going to start with our estimation. I can do it in red again. Might help us. So 14, this is 14 and 2/10. I could round that to 14. So I think I can do that easily in my head. I could also round it to 10, but I'm trying to get like a pretty accurate estimate. Either way is fine. This could be about 4. If I were to multiply these as my estimate, it's 56. Okay, so there's my estimate. Now we got to get into partial products. So this one takes a little bit longer. So I just wanted to get some good paper to make sure I can stay organized with this one. So we know it's 6/10 times 2/10 to get started. So I'll start over here. My pen, make sure I have it. 6/10 times 2/10. Okay, and then we have 6/10. Now I could do 6/10 times 14. But if I'm going to be completely accurate and really do partial product the way it should be, I should do 6/10 times 4 because these 2 digits are in different place values. So they technically are different partial products. So 6/10 times 4. Okay, and then we got to do 6/10 times 10. You want to write this down with me? It takes me a little while to write, so it could be helpful. Then we move on. So we did 6/10 times all of those. Now we have to use our 3, which is in the ones place. So 3 times 2/10. Then 3 times 4. Then 3 times 10. All right, now here we go. This is where lining up the decimal is key. So we have 2/10 times 6/10 is 1200. I'll put my 0 here. Down, 1, 2. So notice this is my decimal point. This is where they all should be. So now I have 4. Okay, that is 2, 8, 4. Alright, 6/10 times 10 I should know is 6 when we think about moving that decimal over. Now we have 3 times 2 tenths is 6/10. This one is 12. And then this, oops, that is 30. Let me just write it correctly. Okay. Need to make sure I'm all lined up correctly. You check with me and make sure that I'm lined up. I think so. So now what do? Add. So this is what place value is this? Hundredths. So the 2 is going to come right on down because there's nothing else in the hundredths place. Now if I look here, well I know I have a 1, but 4 and 6 is 10, 11, or 1.1. So a 1 goes here, I carry this one. Don't forget that decimal right here, I almost did. And then we're going to add up these numbers. I have 3, 9, 11. Okay, so a 1 goes here. Carry it over. Don't forget about this one. The first time that I added these up, I forgot about it. So 1, 2, 5. So I have 51 and 12 hundredths. When I actually added this up the first time, I quickly was doing it, and I did 1 plus 3, and I got 41. So I then looked at my estimation, and I said, that's kind of far off. When I look at how close my estimation should be to the real answer. So then I looked back, and I realized, oh, I forgot this one, the one I brought over, or 10, I should say. So this estimating at first really can help when you're checking over your answers. So my answer for this one, using multiplying decimals, using partial products, would be 51 and 12 hundredths. We can now go on to the independent practice and give this a try.